Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Small Stages, Big Sounds, the Uberrock podcast. Tonight I'm joined by Owen Crawford, otherwise known as No Murder No Moustache. Now, we've had a discussion with Owen previously, but it would be nice to get into the details about his forthcoming album, which is released at the end of next week. So, Owen, my first question, and I'm not sure whether I asked this the last time, where does No Murder, No Moustache come from?
Oh, that's like a classic question. That is. It's actually a little bit private, so I don't share the actual origin of the name. But you know when you hear something and you're just like, that would be an awesome name for a band.
Yeah.
Well, somebody said it and they were explaining something, and I was like, that would be a good name for a band. And it was just like probably about 6 years ago now. I was deciding like, do I use my own name or do I come up with like a band name? It's arguably cooler than Owen Crawford, isn't it? But I also feel like it kind of always matched a bit of like, I've got some serious music and I've got some fun music. And so you kind of have the two halves of the name fit with the two halves of the music as well.
Yeah. Okay, and I'll agree with that. As I said, I saw you back in the Dragonfly back in October, November, and you blew me away. It was absolutely incredible show. For a one-man show, it was a hell of a sound. And that's carried on with the album that's about to come out. I have a question about there's a varied style within the album. Do you play all the instruments?
Yeah. So I play a couple of them. I play on the keyboard rather than the instrument themselves because I haven't got one of those instruments. So obviously the choir is a keyboard synth choir. But yeah, I play my electric drum kit over here. I've got the tin whistle, the accordion, the banjo, the other bits. I'm not saying that I play them well, and I'm not saying that I play them start to finish all the way through every single song with no editing. But like I've really pushed myself on this one as well, and I'm really quite pleased actually with when I pick those instruments up around the house now. I'm better at playing them than I was at the start of writing this album for sure.
I mean, the thing that sort of stood out for me was, hang on, I'm going to pull the titles up now. It's gone to hide in. As Darkness Falls, the piano and the cello.
Yeah.
We can discuss that if you want, because I can understand the emotion behind it, or we can leave it and just leave it at whether you play the instruments on the keyboard.
No, so I play the piano part for that on a keyboard, not on a piano. Wouldn't it be nice to have like a massive chunky piano in the house? But like, who's got space for that? Yeah, so I played that, and the cello was played again on the keyboard as well, because I haven't got a cello. I've got a violin, and I like to play the violin, but I'm not sure everyone else likes to hear me play the violin.
Well, you're not a bad violinist.
Cheers.
You're not bad. The stuff that you play, like there's enough speed and precision in there to pick it up, and it sounds okay. I mean, my son used to play the violin a long time ago, and I've still got a very expensive violin of his in the house, but he doesn't play anymore. And it's a shame.
Yeah, it's nice. It's one of those instruments where like until you get very good at it, it's awful. There's no distorted guitar hiding a few of the wrong notes or anything like that you can get away with in other places.
It's like he went on to play the cello, and that's how he ended up with a violin.
Yeah.
But that's a different thing
altogether. I do like a cello. I'd like to have a cello. I think it'd be better. I think I'd be better at it than the violin, because I used to be a bass player primarily, and I feel like I've got a bit of connection to that. But yeah, I love the sound of a cello, and I think on this track in particular, it goes with the piano quite nicely, because the piano's soft and the cello's a bit scratchier. But yeah, this song has been around for years and years and years. Probably wrote it in 2000. I wrote the riff on guitar in early 2000s, and it just took till 2018 to really get a set of lyrics around it that sort of fitted with the piano line. And then I've had versions of it where it's got drums and it's a bit fuller. I've got versions of it where it's emptier, and I was like, actually, the piano is the bit that does it for me. It's a different track, but the piano brings it to life, I think.
It's a very different track to the rest of your music, and the piano and the cello, from my perspective, fits beautifully with the emotion of the lyrics.
Thanks.
Like I said,
definitely what I was going for.
It's a lovely, lovely track. It's one of those that's going to generate emotion, and that's what music is about.
Exactly. So, I mean, I like listening to people's albums. When I hear another album, I like a song that doesn't fit. I like that little bit. I know it's a bit of a cliche, you've got a rock album and you've got the classic, the cliche ballad like halfway through, and that's exactly what I've done here, and it is halfway through pretty much by numbers. But I don't know, there's something about it. I try and make the album go as like waves, and this is the part of that wave. It kind of comes up to that, and then it goes back into some weird stuff.
Well, I wouldn't say weird, but when you are very evocative in your lyrics writing, you do push certain buttons. I can see that. And like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the set when I saw you before Christmas.
Thanks.
And given half a chance, I come and see you again. But you do say in the intro track about what they're going to hear throughout the album, and it's exactly what's in it. The lead, like I said, the lead single, A Demon in the Dark, is a corker. It's an absolute corker.
It's got a bit more of a rock vibe to it. And I've been toying, like, obviously I'd say it describes itself as Celtic punk, folk punk, but that's got a little bit more of the rock bit to it. It's got a nice guitar solo. Well, I think it's a nice guitar solo. It's definitely a hard guitar solo. But yeah, I kind of went with, it had the woes, it had that bit. So I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just rock it up a little bit more than punk in a way. And I think it's come out like that.
And like I said, it still carries that Celtic folk violin banjo feeling that is consistent through many of the other tracks as well. Like I said, it's an unusual sound. It's definitely not mainstream, but if you like it, you like it. And I do.
Cheers. Yeah, I definitely, I prefer something unique and people to be like, no, I hate this, and not like it at all, or really like it. I'd rather, hate to be like, everyone just turns up and has an okay time and that's it, and they don't really care either way.
Well, like I said, the people that were there in October, November thoroughly enjoyed it because I spoke to them afterwards.
Excellent.
And as I said, I've been waiting for the album to come out. And when it came into Uberrock headquarters, I said, that one's mine. There was no argument, but that one's mine. You have a very Celtic historical perspective in a lot of your work. And this comes out in Dick Penderyn.
Yeah, really fun song to play as well as to write. There are a few tracks that I've sort of started researching. I've got a book called, my wife bought it me for Christmas last year, for my birthday, 50 times or 100 times the British were bastards, something like that. And so I've been looking through that for inspiration as well. But yeah, I did know about Dick Penderyn. And actually, it's one of those stories, like, people know about it, but they don't know the detail. And when I was reading through it, I was reading Wikipedia, reading some of the historical websites and stuff. It's so much worse than like you learn about in school, or that you would know about without having read further into it. Yeah. So it's like, that's got to come out.
There's so much in British history that they got away with because of the time.
Oh, exactly.
We leave current situations out of it. I'm not going to get political on that score. But nonetheless, I mean, they've done so much. It's like when they were in Wales and they were beating people with paddles to stop them speak Welsh.
Yeah. Did you know that in Llanelli, a load of soldiers from Monmouth just went and shot some protesters in like 1911? That's
a sending the soldiers in one, is it?
Yeah, it's part of that, yeah. But so I found out about that, and I was like, I don't think people know that. And it was lots of sort of posts about, like, didn't know that until I read it on Wikipedia and stuff, because it was just quiet and down.
Well, it's all suppressed. The problem with all that was it wasn't known about because it was so local. It's like everything that the British did. The Chartist marches, very well known about in the Newport area because of the political change it brought about. But, I mean, it was only because they were being suppressed by the English. I'm trying not to get political.
It's hard, isn't it?
But, with Uberrock being based in Belfast, it's hard not to.
No.
So.
And like, where does punk rock come from? If it doesn't come from politics, you just got fucking the guy from Misfits getting cancelled and all that. Like, if you haven't got the politics in it, where's the fun in provoking people?
Exactly. It's like, I'm looking at doing this radio show, and I'm doing a feature called 0 to 50, which is a current track and a track from 50 years ago, right? And when you start looking at the music that was around in 1976, it was incredible. You went from Bohemian Rhapsody to God Save the Queen, at the end of the year. So it was a really good year for music. So hopefully that'll come across in the radio show.
Brilliant.
So there's a lot of other stuff within the album. Again, there's Tested on Animals, which
what do you think Tested on Animals is about?
Well, it made me smile, actually, when I was listening to it. I don't think it's about perfumes and things being tested on animals, shall we say. I think it may be about other things being tested on animals.
That's right, yes. It's interesting because some people don't pick up on it and some people do. Straight away. It just depends on sort of what you were reading about 10 years ago.
You know, and then there's your typical drinking song with One More Round, which is about 90-second blast of everybody getting blasted in Cardiff. And you know it's Cardiff because you mentioned Fuel and Metros, you know, so...
Yeah, I know. I like a short song as well. And I was like, I kind of ran out by the end of it and then it kind of shifts into the next song. It's supposed to transition with like no gap. But you know, like that was cool on CDs and tapes. But when you listen to it online on random now, it doesn't quite come across in the same way.
No, no.
So I clearly ran out of places to go drinking, so I had to stop after 90 seconds.
You don't get a lot in 90 seconds then?
6 pints of Guinness, and I'm done.
I mean, the other one that made me chuckle, and I think it's about people doing things and getting up in people's faces about what's going on politically, was Grey Tracksuit.
Yeah, classic bonus track. I'm so glad that I managed to fit this track on because there was a bit of a crunch for me to get everything done. I've got 2 or 3 songs that didn't make it because they weren't quite coming together fast enough, which is great because now I've got stuff going forward. But Grey Tracksuit just had to get in there, and I worked it in. I stayed up late and I just made sure that it was on there because I love the chorus. It's I've done a few shows now where they've had you know, the Pit in Newport. Yeah. They've got a TV screen behind. So I've had video clips from my set synced up to my set. And I've had the guy getting hit with a brick in Grey Tracksuit on loop on the backgrounds during this song. And it's gone down very, very well.
I'm sure it has. So, you know, releases next week. I've been looking around the news around various bands that are touring, big bands that are continuing to play a lot of their old stuff and not anything of their new music. And I wonder how much of this is going to get into your set when you start going out.
So it's really difficult. So I'm playing tomorrow at Green Rooms. Whenever this goes out, as of now, it's tomorrow. And I've been working on the set list this week. And it's really hard. I've got 65 songs to pick from in my back catalogue. I can't play all of them. Some of them are like recorded ones only. But like, I'm not going to play Darkness Falls with the piano. I'm not going to play a couple of the tracks that have got certain bits in that it wouldn't do it justice to try and play it on the guitar. But yeah, I've got 9 songs booked in for tomorrow night. And that's because I'm playing Raise Your Glasses, which is on this new album. And that's 4.5 minutes long. And I never play songs that long. But I really want to play it as a nice kind of finisher.
Yeah. And I think it'll go down a storm. Go down a storm.
But yeah, so I've got 3 songs that are not on this album, and I think 6 from it. So
that's
tight.
That's a bigger percentage than a lot of the bands that are going around. They're doing a lot of their older stuff and maybe 2 or 3 off the new album.
Yeah.
But they're bigger bands.
When I play anyway.
At the end of the day, you just tell them it's new.
Yeah.
And as I've said to bands that you don't know, if it's out of tune, the only person that knows is you.
100%. Yeah, I'm completely behind that.
You know, but no, it's been lovely having another chat to you, and good luck with the album.
Thank you.
And I did thoroughly enjoy it. And if I see you out and about, I'll have to pick up a copy.
Awesome, that'd be great.
But thanks for your time. It's been a pleasure as always.
No worries. Nice to see you back in November as well, and actually in person.
Yeah, rather than virtual.
Yeah.
But thanks for your time again. Good luck with the album. Good luck with tomorrow and the other gigs you got coming up.
Amazing.
And I'll catch you around at some point.
Fantastic. Cheers, mate. See you soon.
Take care, Owen. Bye.
Bye.